Hey guys, as you can see, we're in the great outdoors today, and it's a nice overcast day, perfect for doing this little bit of a video. Now this is part 2 of a 2-part series on the beginner's guide to vlogging. The first part was all about equipment, what we need and what we may not need. This gets into a little more of the technical aspect. Let's get into it. All right, now the first point we need to get into is the video resolution. Are we going to shoot in 720, 1080, 4K, 8K, 16K? Where does it stop? What resolution do you shoot the video in? I typically shoot 4K. Why? It's the highest resolution that my camera can shoot. So that's what I shoot in. It's better to shoot the highest resolution you possibly can and then decrease it if you need to down to 1080 because you got lots of information. It'll look awesome. Now, if you're shooting, say, 720 and you try and upsample to 4K, it's not going to look very good, won't look very good at all. Shoot in the highest resolution you possibly can, downsize it if you need to, and you will retain that good quality. Now the next point in with the video resolution is the frame rate. Do we shoot at 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 60, 120? What frames per second do we shoot at? Now, I typically shoot 4K, 30 frames a second. I typically do, as you saw, how-tos, tutorials. So I'm not so much into the cinematic world. Now I have noticed though, in the cinematic world, there's a lot of people shifting back to 30 frames per second versus 24. They always say 24 frames per second, that is your cinematic video that you want to shoot in. But I say it's up to the creative. Now, one way to kind of give you an example of the 24 versus 30 is by doing this. If I take my hand and do this, see the blurring? That's 24 frames per second. It's supposedly what the natural eye is. Now, if I do this, it's not because it's slower, it's because there's less motion blur at 30 frames per second because you're getting 6 extra frames per second versus 24. So they say 24 is more pleasing and more cinematic. That is why. I, as I say, tend to shoot 4K 30 frames per second. Experiment with it, try it. Look for yourself and see the differences. Now we need to discuss lighting. Today is absolutely perfect. It is totally overcast. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I got a great big soft box in the sky above me and it looks fantastic. I love this kind of lighting. It gives me lots of room to play within the highlights and the shadows. Now, time of day, early morning, just after that sun's up, you got about an hour, and about an hour before sunset, what they call the golden hour. You get that beautiful low, warm glow lighting that looks fantastic. So, overcast, beautiful softbox, soft lighting, no cloud in the sky. You've got some very hard lighting to deal with. You can do it, but you're gonna have to learn how to play around with it. Now, along with the type of light, whether soft or hard, is the direction of light. That plays a huge important part of your lighting. Right now, I'm kind of front lit, if you can call it that on this day. Here, I am 90 degrees, the light is over here. And if I come this way, I am backlit with the light. This is in soft lighting. Now, if we looked at that again in hard lighting, you can see the front lighting doesn't look quite as nice, and the backlighting definitely doesn't look very pleasing at all either, nor does the side lighting. So you're always best to try and get that soft possible light you can and pick the direction of light that suits you best. Front light tends to flatten out. For me, it actually works because it helps flatten out the wrinkles and I don't look so bad. But typically you want a bit of a 45-degree angle for the lighting to look your absolute best. What about changing perspective up? It changes the whole aspect of your video and the vlog, and it makes it a little more interesting because you're not always doing the straight armed out look. Here I am kind of kneeling down and giving that bit lower look to it. So you can also shoot up a bit, but the up angle is never one of my favorites because basically you end up looking up the person's nose. And in my opinion, that is not a very flattering look. You can come down like this and shooting down on your subject a bit, and that works out great for relieving the double chin and giving a different look. But you want to try different angles. Here I am sitting down at a picnic table. It gives you a different perspective yet again to the video. By changing the perspective of the camera, and I'm changing location, it keeps the viewer a little more interested and it makes the video a little bit better. And that's what this is all about, trying to get the best video for your vlog you possibly can. So perspective, give it a thought. Get down low, get up high. Just try not shooting up your nose because that's never a pretty sight. All right, the next point, audio. Audio can make or break your video. You guys have listened to videos and vlogs before with bad audio. It's not very good. So we can remedy that. And how we do that? We use an external microphone. Instead of using the mic that's built into your cell phone or to your camera, use an external one. There's mics that plug right into your cell phone, and even Rode makes them that'll just plug in, and you're gonna up the game big time. There's shotgun microphones, there's lav style microphones. Get that external microphone going and you will notice a big difference in your audio. Now all the audio you've been listening to for this video, that's right, I'm using a lav mic and I've got it attached to an audio recorder, the H1N Zoom, and it is fantastic. Instead of using the built-in processor for the camera or the cell phone, I'm using the H1 to record the audio, and it's designed for that. So I get a lot better quality than I do out of the camera or out of my cell phone. And it makes a big difference to the videos. So that's it for this one. Hopefully you've learned something from this. And if you're just starting out, hopefully this gets you on your epic vlogging career. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. So until the next time.